Viviane Tettelbaum, who's a Belgian senator, president of the European Centre of the International Council of Women, and vice president of the European Women's Lobby. Viviane, you've been hearing about, we talked about the dismantling of the WPS program at the US Defense Department, possible knock-on effects elsewhere in the world in terms of backlash against the WPS. But this, of course, is part of a wider mood music, if you like, a wider backlash against ideas of gender equality, women's rights, and that. How do you propose that the WPS agenda is protected at a moment like this?
It's not. First of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here as well. Maybe to introduce, I wanted to say two things. First of all, I think we've made a huge progress with women, peace and security in 25 years. And because some women, peace builders, diplomats, activists were bold, were courageous, and built the program and brought folding chairs at the table when they didn't have a seat. And I think that's important to remember. Now, the women, peace and security is being attacked. It's not fading, it's being contested. Just as, and I'm a feminist, I'm a committed feminist, and I see it everywhere. Women's rights are a whole, and it's being contested everywhere. May it be on bodily autonomy, economic rights, poverty, social rights, everywhere. It's everywhere. And so it's also in the women, peace and security agenda. And it's not something that's it's coming slowly, but it's violent at the same time. I mean, we see it in many countries, and even in countries that are democratic, in countries where we keep democracy, social rights, where we talk about gender equality, but we don't push the agenda anymore. Mm-hmm. And so when you don't push it and you don't go forward, it slowly, it goes backwards. And the same patriarchal structures that attack women's rights, that attack abortion rights, that attack all the different women's rights, attack women in peace and security agenda. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is, we look at women, peace and security agenda like it's a niche, technical niche, where we have experts, we need experts to foster it, to bring it forward. But actually, it has to be recognized for what it is, a cornerstone of democracy, and it has to be implemented, and we have to work with grassroots organizations, women on the ground, and you said it, women know their communities. Usually women know where the problems lay, women know how to help solve those problems, but also women bring different issues on the agenda. Gender-based violence, for instance, rape as a weapon of war. All those issues are being brought in by women, by grassroots organizations, but they are attacked as well. They are defended. Not only women, peace and security agenda is defended, all the gender equality mechanisms are being defended. So it's something that if you align all those problems, then you have this, the backlash as a whole. It cannot, women, I don't think, women, peace and security agenda can be analyzed in isolation. It doesn't live in isolation. It lives within countries, pushed by governments, and if you don't have it on the agenda with all the women's rights issues on the agenda, then you have the backlashes on that as well as on other issues.
And to build on something that General Clancy said, he made the point that when women are involved in ceasefire processes, there's a better chance that the ceasefire will stick. And just, I think it's important for all of us to remember that, and many of you will be familiar with this research, the peace agreements resulting from negotiations in which women and civil society participate are 64% less likely to fail and 35% more likely to last at least 15 years. Growing up in Ireland, I had an early experience of WPS before it became WPS, because this was long further than 25 years ago, with the Northern Ireland Women's Coalition, which was a very organic grassroots community. It emerged from community, civil society, women who demanded a place at the table, secured that place, and were key to the negotiation of the Good Friday Agreement, which brought an end to 30 years of conflict. And again, going back to what you were saying, Vivian, the elements of the peace agreement that the women pushed for and insisted on were key to its continuing sustainability. So we know this. However, more sobering figures. As of 2023, women made up 5% of negotiators, 9% of mediators, 19% of signatories to peace deals, all well below the 33% UN target. One of the participants in our working groups was Stephanie Williams, an American diplomat who was acting UN envoy in Libya, who, as acting UN envoy, insisted in a socially conservative country that women comprise a certain percentage of the participants in a dialogue process, which then resulted in several female ministers in the resulting government. So we see also the role, when women are negotiators or envoys, senior diplomats, this also makes a difference. How can we improve on those abysmal numbers? How can we improve on those?
So I'm in favor of quotas. I've always been in favor of quotas. I don't think they are an objective. I think they are a temporary corrective measure. And in order to achieve equality, you need to push it. You need to push it forward. And for instance, I don't think you need, well, you need to push, of course, women on front lines and to increase that. But you also need to push, and at the same time, women in parliaments, women in decision-making processes. You need to push women everywhere where they can make a difference and push things forward. So quotas are the basis, I think, of that. And you are right, but I work, for instance, today with women who cross borders, for instance, on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I work with Palestinian and Israeli women as an activist, not as a job, as an activist. And they are really pushing the agenda, trying to get involved and included in discussions for fostering peace, to install a dialogue between them. They work well together, and they have worked together. Although the war was going on, they continued to talk. The dialogue was still there, which was something amazing. And the fear is that once we will go to the negotiating table, and we saw it already with the premises and the peace plan and everything, women disappear. They disappear from the table. So I think quotas and imposing the presence of women is a guarantee that women can be there. I mean, we are the majority of the population, and we continue to be a political minority. We continue to be a minority everywhere, and this doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Irina, you wanted to come in there?
Yeah, I would like to add something on this. I think that we have to be careful and see if the table disappears is also another issue. So if the table is not only having women on the table, but if the table of the negotiations disappears, it will be even more complicated to have women sitting there. So I think that for the agenda right now, we have also to look into the broader picture, how peace dynamics are going on, and maybe for us working the agenda, try to understand the different ways. Somewhere I see the limit when I engage externally with experts or civil society is that we keep having the same conversation on the modalities of inclusion of women in a system that is no longer in place. So I think that this is the challenge today. The challenge is to say, we all agree, I'm with you, I'm with quotas as well, and I also know that many women are against, but I think that there are temporary measures necessary, and it's not because we are less competent, it's because the system is patriarchal, and that is an imbalance in power distribution. But the tables are disappearing, so how can we get there as part of the or the conversation if we keep looking at the problem in an old way, try to propose old solution to a different setting?
Though I would say that I would recall what one participant in our working group said at one point. They said that it seems as if the world has forgotten how to make peace. Because it's been quite a while since we had a peace agreement anywhere. But Vivian, you want to come back on that?
No, I agree. I don't think we need to change the table. I think we need to improve the table. We need to think differently. But I think that bringing different voices at the table and making it more, inclusive. Yeah, I don't like the word so much, but yeah, inclusive, because it doesn't mean, in gender equality, when you say inclusive, then the aim is good, but the result is not always there. But I think we need to have more a 50-50. That's what we need to aim at. A 50-50. I mean, that's equality. Being a feminist is striving for equality. And equality, it's 50-50. It's sharing the power. And that's what makes it difficult for men. Most men, a lot of men, not all men, because otherwise we wouldn't be there. But that's the difficulty. It's accepting that the power needs to be shared. And we are very far away from that today.